Hello and welcome. Ooh, better pause that, haven't we? Right, yes, back in the shed again. The shed of disaster today, unfortunately. But this is what the FZ50 is, isn't it, at the moment? It is shell-shocked, poor little thing. Look at it. It's absolutely all over the bloody place. Done a few bits and pieces. As you can see, I have de-stickered all the plastics there with the hot air gun. I've got that skanky one off of there. I have a kit coming. Now I've also used the hot air gun to get rid of all the old glue, so it gives me half a chance to do something with these panels. Yes, I'm not going to throw them away. I am going to reuse them. I've managed to get all that old tacky, crappy brown, whatever that was on there, off, and I've managed to use a bit of heat treatment on it and get it sort of fairly flush as to where it should be. It will be getting treatment. It will be getting some Astonish, as will these pieces here. This has already been done with Astonish, so that's fine. I've got the two bumpers, the two mud guards. They're ready to be Astonished. They're indoors. I'm tripping over here. Yeah, so the big bombshell was I've been given the opportunity to restore a DeLorean, but not just any DeLorean. It's one of the Back to the Future DeLoreans from the series. Obviously not ones. It's not one of the it was used for the filming, but it's a copy, and it's been found in a barn. So yeah, really excited. It is absolutely covered in goo. I will be going to have a look at it later, and hopefully signing some paperwork. There you go. Yeah, so I mean, it can be worth a lot of money, can't they, when they're mint. Right, nothing to do with me, the money side. I've just been given the opportunity to do one of my all-time dreams of if I had to restore another car, it would have been one of those. So I am uber excited at the moment. Right, what am I doing? I've got the wheel hub in there. It's all full of splashy. I've given this a clean. That is a rectifier, I think. Is it regulator? Oh, was it regulator? One on the other, but you can see a tab snapped off. Look, one there, nothing here. So I'm gonna have to see if I can solder something on there. Anyway, right. Oh yeah, this piece, although I cleaned it up, it does need an awful lot of Astonish treatment, so you can see all those marks on there. That's been through the parts cleaner. Or we'll give it some Astonish and see how that comes out, so that can go in that pile. Now the elephant in the room, apart from me, is the fuel tank. It is rotten. Let me make some space. I think what I'm going to do literally is fill the flipping thing up with parts cleaner fluid, and then chuck some stonage in there and give it a bit of a shake and let it settle for 24 hours, and then give it another shake and then let it settle for 24 hours, and so on and so forth. Stay there. Okay, let's have a close-up look at this. Bring it up here. Yeah, it is crusty burger, I can tell you. And in there, it is a horror story. It is proper thick rust. It's not. There's no sign of shining at all in there. So even if I can rescue this to a point where you could, it's kind of clean, I reckon there's going to be pinholes in it. So I think I'm going to have to put a lining of some description in there. I do believe that there is a like a liquid jelly gluey type stuff that you pour in and swill it around kind of thing, but this is pretty seized up. It did move when I first. Nah, that's not moving. So I need to take this off. Luckily instead of this thing going into the tank, you know, bolting, with a big hole in it, bolting into the tank, it's just screwed to the side of the tank. There, it doesn't penetrate, misses, the tank whatsoever. These two pipes do the penetrating, and there's little filters inside each, inside the tank. Well, there used to be, or they're supposed to be. So yeah, I'm guessing that these pipes, I reckon that one went there, like that. I reckon that one went there, but they've just been chomped off, haven't they? And then you get your vacuum pipe. There's one of these two which opens up the valve in here to allow the fuel to flow out of there, or something along those lines. So I need to give this a really good soaking and loosen off all those stubborn seized screws. But that's my task for the day. Oh, and get the back wheel off of the motor assembly. I've been penetrating that with fluid for a couple of days now. It's had, obviously you got brake shoes inside that hub unit there, so I've been dousing the pads. The shoes aren't going to be any good, so I've just been dousing, fluid in there to see if I can get some movement. Right, okay, that's enough of me babbling on for a minute. Oh, I've only got one of these now. The other one, as you saw, sheared off, so I have a good one. What I've learnt from in the past, from restorations, is never throw anything away. Well, I'm not. I've got a drawer now of clean but broken parts. The idea behind that is, like the spring there, that could be used in the future, and also I've seen an awful lot of metal art constructed from old motorcycle sprockets and things like that, and some of it is absolutely brilliant. I've got an arc welder, so I'm going to get a drawer full of broken parts, whatever's left over from restorations, and I'm going to see if I can construct some sort of, transformery type thing, and stick it in the garden. It'll be good, won't it? Right, okay, leave me to it, and check back in a little while. Take care. We fade to grey. Right, well, I've had the pump going, thus pumping fluid thus into there, and I don't know if you can hear this. Yeah, it sounds pretty. I looked in the filler hole. I've had to use a flat screwdriver to literally, the metal inside have come away from the walls. I've literally just had to just crack it off, so to speak. Anybody that hasn't done one of these fuel tanks yet, and you're wondering how the hell you get this thing off, well, basically I had absolutely no idea. I thought, well, there's no point in using this screwdriver, because it just wouldn't get it off without undue pain, really, would it? So I've used this screwdriver. I very gently just kept twisting the side of the screwdriver like that, working my way around, and eventually one side popped. So I went round and popped all four sides. There you go, and you can probably see there's a very slight ridge there, and there. So that's literally, it's sort of held on, it sort of clamps itself over this bracket here. Okie dokie, it is looking flipping horrible. Going in. Well, that was alright. We're obviously not nuts inside the fuel tank itself. Well, I don't know, it might be, mightn't it? Tighten first, then loosen. Loosey-loo. Let's see what we got in here. Well, these screw ends are fairly clean, so that's probably the only part on the bike that isn't on the tank that isn't rusted. Okie dokie. Let's file that under there. We'll chuck the screws on the magnet. Okay, so you've got the plate there. Cool. Now this part and that part. Now, does that come out of there? Does the whole thing come off the tank? I don't flipping know, do I? Need to get myself a Ains manual. Oh, incidentally, I went for a little jolly the other day to deliver the CD175. Lovely guy, George. Fantastic. On the way down there, we went past the Haynes manual museum, which I'm going to get on my motorcycle one day and have a jolly down there and see what's going on. The building looks quite funky. So yeah, I'm into all that kind of stuff. The old museums and whatnot. Well, we've got some joy going on here. What's going on? Okay. Alright, let's have a close look at it. Right, there's that. What does it do? I suppose it just moves that little lever there. And a little pointer goes up and down in there that you can't even see through. So, see if we can have a look through it. See anything in there? I'm buggered if I can. Anyway, so that's got a gasket around it. So that needs to be replaced or renewed or something. The aluminium legs here, this is an aluminium cast piece. And these two aluminium bridges, if you like, look like a really bad carburetor float mounting point, where that I mean that the aluminium is actually crumbling away. And I know that to buy one of these is about 50 quid. It's stupid money, you know. When they sort of gauge car part prices to motorcycle price parts, motorcycle stuff's way up there, isn't it? I'm not even going to attempt to knock that pin through and out that side until it's had a darn good soak in the parts cleaner. There's nothing corrosive in there. Well, I don't think that float's going to be floating. It has some holes, some ventilation holes in there. So yeah, I think that's beyond it. Might have a bit of cork that can go on there. Actually, I got a champagne cork I've saved from years ago. That might be a thing, won't it? Cork. Joey Deacon, right. Okay, well, I've got that off. Let's see if we can't get off this helmet lock, I'm guessing. Right, pause yourself for a second. That's not pauses, that is. Right, I've just gone and borrowed Alan's keys. Which one is it? Let's have a look at that size. I think it's that one. Is he wrong? Is he wrong again? What now? Luckily this set's got the ball type socket on the end of there, which is, if you've got some particulates in your hole, you want to clean them out first by jabbing your knob in it, sort of thing. So I've done that. Right. Finnar. Let's try and tighten it first. Okay, let's undo. Here we go. That's a result, eh? I hate copyright, don't you, mate? Can't have music going. Not right. Parts tray. Let me get give it a good blasting. Okay, I think we've got enough in there. Let's tighten it first. And then loosen it. Wow, there we go. Well, that's 2 out of 3 now off, which is nice. Jazz. Cool. And don't forget, I've got a key coming, the right key, so that should work with the ignition. And the same key there. That doesn't look too bad. Right, onto this little monkey. Got to try somehow and unduplicate this one. I can't get me impact driver on there simply because it's all thin tin, isn't it, really? And this little flap here, that will just bend in straight away. And we don't want anything bending, do we? So there we are. How will I get that out of there? So I'll just try a screwdriver and see what happens. If at first you don't succeed, go and make a brew. Right, let's try and get my JIS screwdriver in there. Tighten up. Nope. Undo. Yeah, it always works. You watch this one not do it. Which I don't mind, because I can get me special tool on there, can't I? And give it a good tug. Right, let's do it up. I heard a click. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that came off relatively easy. I thought I was going to have a bit more of a fight than that, but hi ho, fiddly dee. Right, that's off of there. Kinda. Right. Now all I've got to do is sort of and there we go. Do you know how much people want for these on Fleabay and places and the such? 150 quid for that little lump there. Now you've caught your breath. That's bad, isn't it? That's really bad. Oh, we've got a bit of movement going already now. That's good. Obviously it doesn't like being on the tank. That's fair enough, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to play with that too much, that lever, for one good reason, and that is that behind this plate in here, there is a plastic dish or a dish with holes in it, and the more it's obviously dry in there, isn't it? There is no fluid in there as such. And if I keep going like that, oh look, it works, it's just going to cause that thing to fall apart and all the rest of it. So, right, I'm going to use heat later on to get these pipes off, and I'm going to give this a good tear down, get this float bowl off, this observation pot off there, give it a good soak, and then see what the story is with that. There's another part there. So we're left with basically the reserve and the main hoses there. I've held it up in the air, and literally nothing is coming out apart from where it's supposed to, i.e. out of this pipe here. If you can see that dripping, I don't know that you can. Obviously it's blocked up. Oh my god. Right, I'm now going to invert it and we'll see what comes out. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh dear. You know what the CD175 one was like? This is the same. Oh, matron. Oh no. Matron. Well, I think that's round one to me, I think. I'm just going to bring you over and let you have a look at the vom in here. That is nasty. Oh, man. just neat iron, isn't it? Ah, not good. I don't know. Usually I can't smell or taste because I've got a bad sinuses, but the last few weeks I've been okay. That smells more varnish to me than iron, which would be a big thumbs up, wouldn't it, really? Yeah, that's the consistency of that. I can break it up. It's like, what's it like? It's like, you know when you go down the seaside and you make a sandcastle and then you kick the shit out of it. Now you let it dry off a bit, and then if you can put a clump of sand off of it, and it's held together, isn't it, by itself until you squash it. That's exactly what this stuff feels like. So I don't really want to put vinegar in there just yet because that's quite aggressive. I think I'm just going to let that tank sit. I'm going to fill it up again with this parts cleaner stuff. Let's do it now while we're chatting. Right, let's see if I can get it in the hole first time, eh? Oh, look at that, super duper. I'm going to let that pump all of its juice. I want it to put all of its load in the tank. And then we're going to have a brew, have something to eat, give it a good hour and a half, something like that. Tinker around with some other things, and then we'll come back and have another look. I'll chuck some pebbles and whatnot in there as well. I think give it a bit of a shake in a minute. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Ah, it's looking good, isn't it? Welcome back. Once again, I have had me butty. I had cheese, ham, onion and mustard. Oh, and a slice of Marmite. You've got to have a slice of Marmite on the crust, don't you? Nice brew. Oh, just finished. No Ribena today, because it's daytime, isn't it? Right, you know I said earlier about my float being knackered, and, you know, I have a piece of cork indoors. Ha ha ha, how stupid would I be? This, ladies and gentlemen, is a piece of cork. You can see it split in there. Look, I can squeeze it. I can squeeze it. I can squeeze it. I can squeeze it. Oh! So, my stupid off-the-cuff remark is actually a piece of cork. So, hey-ho. My piece of cork should do it. Right, now the most important thing is the tank, as we know. I have filled it up with some really heavy-duty degreaser. I didn't put vinegar in it, but the vinegar's still there. Yeah, I used this stuff here. Oh, bright light. I've had my diabetic eye test today, and what they do is they put some drops in your eyes and it makes you sting. Makes your eyes sting, and then of course it makes your pupils dilate. And yeah, it's not a lot of fun that, because bright light is just this light's not so bad, but earlier, oh my god. Anyway, that's what I used. No nonsense HDD. Right. Not that I plug any materials on this program. Right. So what I've done is I've filled this literally to the brim, as you can see. And instead of chucking some old stones in there, I thought to myself, well, why not? Why not chuck in some, some M8 hex bolts, so that they're all inside. Now I've filled it like a quarter of the way, shook the hell out of it, tipped it up. My goodness, I mean, we're talking tree trunks coming out of there. Okay, so I've got quite a few pieces here, and looking at it, that isn't iron. That really 100% isn't iron. I reckon that tank was full at one point, or near as damn it, and just left. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, here's a perfect proof. Look, okay, magnet, iron magnet. No, that's not iron at all. So really, really chuffed to pieces. I managed to pull the two black hoses off the tank to get at the little baby filters. If you can imagine that piece sort of going up the Jap's eye, if you like. Why can't I think of something normal to say? You have the two pipes coming out of the tank. These sort of ferrules stick up in the middle of the pipe, and then your hose goes over that piece there that looks rather like a piece of plastic like that. And if you look very closely, there, it's not focusing, is it? There is the filtery part, shown more readily here. Okay, it's not focusing. I'm on the front camera. That part, incidentally, is the other half to that one. As you can see, when I tried to jerk it out of that tight hole, it broke in half. So yeah, so I've got to get a couple of. Well, I don't have to, do I? Really, if you think about it, these are basically filters. That's all that is a filter. And the bit that fell on the floor, I mean, they're identical. There's no difference between them. I can't see. So what I'm going to do is just put a couple of inline filters in that pipework stuff before it gets to the car. Simple as that. You know, so the chances of me getting another couple of these are, I'd have more chance getting a something from the Queen. Yeah. So I think I'm going to wrap that up there. Next time you see me will be episode 5. This is episode 4. You lot are good at maths, aren't you? So, yeah, I'm going to tidy this up now. I've got so much to do. I will be doing something else next time you see me. I'm finishing off the tank, so you'll see the finished product before paint. Right, have a good day, guys. I hope I've cheered you up a little bit. If not, I hope I haven't put you in the white jacket. Okay, take it easy. See you again soon. Thanks for looking.